Empath and Narcissistic Abuse Recovery, 2 manuscripts in 1. The practical survival guide for empaths to thrive in the modern world, and how to recover from narcissistic abuse and understand narcissism. Written by Alexandra Jessen. Narrated by Oconnor and Astrid Christopherson.
Narcissistic Abuse Recovery, the ultimate guide to understanding narcissism and healing from narcissistic lovers, mothers, and everything in between by disarming the narcissist. Written by Chloe Hargreaves. Narrated by Oconnor. Chapter 1, Introduction. A few years back, I decided to embark on a journey that would ultimately change my life. I signed up to get professional therapy and joined a small forum that was recommended to me where survivors of psychological abuse gathered to support each other. This was a big move for me, and somewhat awkward at first because I couldn't tell how this would enable me to get rid of the depression, low self-esteem, and cycles of pain that I was going through. But the therapist that was treating me suggested it, and quite frankly, I was desperate to have a fresh start in life. You see, my story, like so many other survivors, was full of hidden psychological hurts. I realized I was carrying on a generational legacy of psychological abuse that was being passed down from generation to generation for who knows how long. The concept of love that I grew up with and experienced with my parents led me into intimate relationships and friendships that only perpetuated psychological abuse. I had a father who was a cold, calculating control freak, and nothing I did was ever good enough for him. My mother, on the other hand, was always too warm, giving, needy, shy, and too sensitive, according to my dad. He would often swap between mocking his wife's sensitivities, my subpar qualities. Even when I thought I had done really well, for example when I got a medal in a swimming competition, he still had countless of reasons to explain how I didn't live up to what he expected of me. My mother tried to leave my father at one point, but soon got sucked back into the marriage. I even recall a time where they were sleeping in 2 separate bedrooms and was pretty sure it was the end of the marriage. No words were exchanged for weeks, and then slowly, my mother started exchanging warm, affectionate giggles. She got a new watch, started doing date nights again, and the rest was history. For a while, I thought this was the norm for all families, but as I grew into my teens, it started becoming even more evident that my family was very dysfunctional, and there was nothing healthy about the parental care I had received. Each time I would start a romantic relationship, it wouldn't be too long before I found myself feeling like a human yo-yo. To my family members, I was more like the human punching bag that everyone enjoyed playing with, and even though I always felt something was off, it wasn't until my mid-20s where I finally had enough. At first, the few people I confided in only made me feel worse, like I was paranoid, needy, and overthinking things. Perhaps you've experienced something similar. It's tough to explain something in words that most people can barely resonate with because unless you have specific terms to describe the actions of a hidden abuser, most people will say you sound a bit crazy and unstable. Which is why I decided to do some Google research and eventually landed on a site that helped me get some professional help. Along that harrowing and intense journey, I learned some eye-opening truths about psychological abuse, which led me to the creation of this book. As I continue to journey in life as a survivor and educate myself on this topic, it is my intention that the information I share with others can better empower them to step into their own power and heal their lives permanently. Whether your hidden abuse comes from a romantic relationship, parents, in-laws, an employer, or whatever else the case might be for you, know that you're in the right place. Take the information contained in this book and apply it compassionately and diligently, for it is the guidebook that can lead you to a life of freedom, empowerment, and self-worth. What to expect.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?